What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Triple H podcast. Happy Hour Hoops, presented by Trainwreck Sports. Everything NBA right here, guys. Steve, Jake, and myself. Couple weeks into the NBA season now. Some things are starting to shake out, but we have our questions. Guys. And why don't we just start right at the top of the Eastern Conference? Almost feels like we're doing this in chronological order because we got two unlikely heroes sitting atop the East. The Chicago Bulls and the 76ers are both 4-0. And where Steve was definitely more bullish on the Sixers than Jake and I don't know if anyone would have said that the Bulls would also be holding that one spot in the Eastern Conference. So, guys, how we doing? Let's talk some top of the Eastern Conference here.
I would like an apology. Not on the Embiid or everything. I want an apology that the rest of the Sixers couldn't make this team decent in a bad East. Because right now Embiid is not playing like Embiid. And that was your guys' biggest pushback with my take. But I'll tell you what, there's 3 guards on the Sixers right now that are balling. 3 guards.
So I know Jake last night said he's not issuing an apology, which I think is fair.
That's fair enough.
I will not be issuing an apology. Absolutely not.
We'll get him eventually.
After last night's Celtics game, I'm staying with my take that I think the Celtics will finish with a better record than the Sixers. So I will not apologize for that take. I will apologize for the rest of the team, for the rest of the team's play, because I did not believe as strongly in this group, and kind of all the points I was trying to make are still happening, which is just bizarre because Paul George started the season sidelined. Embiid was on a pitch count in the very first game. But
McCain hasn't played yet either.
What's that?
Jared McCain hasn't played either.
And McCain hasn't played. So just a lot of guys stepping up in this group, and obviously 2 primarily are Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, who I texted you guys immediately on opening night, and I was like, dude, VJ Edgecombe, I think this was before the first half even finished. I was like, VJ Edgecombe is special. The first 6 minutes of that first game, he looked like the best player on the floor while sharing the floor with Jaylen Brown. So, yes, quick apology to the Sixers. You guys are much better than I thought, at least for right now.
For now,
yes.
And honestly, this is, I don't want to say the worst version of the Sixers in terms of just roster, construction right now. You don't have, Embiid's clearly not all the way, fully Embiid. And I don't know if he'll ever get to that point, but he's clearly not there. Paul George isn't playing, and I'm sure people are going to be like, well, that's addition by subtraction. But it's still Paul George. And then McCain was balling out. This is a team where Maxey and Edgecombe have stepped up. But also, too, I got to give a shout-out to Quentin Grimes. I'm still mad at the Mavericks for that. The Luka trade, I will never forgive them for that. But then a week later, to just go and trade Grimes for Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin for Quentin Grimes is a baller, dude. Yeah. I mean, this team's just they have just so much depth, so much scoring depth. And yeah, you're right. This is sometimes where it pays to watch college basketball because Edgecombe was just kind of a dog on a pretty lackluster Baylor team besides him. And I believe he played Duke where he gave everything, almost beat Duke by himself. And it was just this is a guy that, could make some serious noise. And I think the biggest complaint, according to the draft experts on VJ Edgecombe coming into the NBA, was he's an inconsistent finisher. Well, Dunny, I don't really know if what I've seen from Edgecombe so far in 4 games has been any short of inconsistency in terms of finishing, and he can shoot too. You know what? AJ's comment. I will apologize on the Austin Reeves because I said I think he's good. I don't know if he's really at that superstar level yet. We'll get to Austin Reeves. I mean, it might be apologies all episode.
I would love to get off topic just for a second here. Did you guys see Kenny the Jet Smith, what he said about Austin Reeves last night?
I did not.
Bro compared him to Jeremy Lin, dude. He said he's having a good week. Everyone else on the panel was like, bro, Austin Reeves has been good for a couple of years now.
What?
He compared him to Jeremy Lin live on air last night.
That's just like you don't watch basketball.
Yeah.
That's like you just aren't watching
And
basketball.
you're sitting on the inside the NBA panel, and he said that.
My biggest complaints about Austin Reeves was the fit when LeBron and Luka are both fully healthy and going, because he's not really a good defender. And it's like, I feel like Austin Reeves is one of those guys who's gets better as his usage rate goes up, right? He's not a guy who can just stand around, take a couple plays off, and then come back in. He needs, the ball to go through him, high usage. Same with LeBron and Luka. And I'm like, those three, I just think it's too many cooks in the kitchen. But when, Luka got hurt and he was out for a couple games, I was like, well, this Lakers team's going to be rough. And the first game, Austin Reeves goes, 51, 11, and 9?
Yeah.
And then last night, he hits the game winner. He had, 32 and 16 or something stupid? I mean, say what you want. He's just one of those guys who just keeps getting better and better and better. And this is a guy we're talking about, right, who could barely get on the floor in college. This is a guy that people didn't even think was going to be in the league. Right. And now can carry a team on his own. Yeah, 28 and 16. Incredible. I mean.
And for those who are just listening, just in case you're curious how we got to Austin Reeves, someone is commenting in the chat about Reeves. So we had to do a little side tangent because I forgot about the Jeremy Lin thing, and I saw that this morning.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Oh God.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, crazy. Shout out Reeves. He was the second or third happy hour hooper of the year this year.
Yeah,
he's well deserved.
Well deserved.
And he was
look at us.
And he was balling when Luka was still healthy too. Like when Luka was kind of putting up his juggernaut box scores, Reeves was still getting his too. So I'll put a hand up. I didn't really think Reeves was going to become that type of player. I thought he'd be, a solid player like he has been a couple of years. But man, he just keeps improving.
Might be a lot of hands going up this episode.
We'll get Jake's hand up. We'll get his hand
quite
up.
A bit. Jake, why don't you give us a little synopsis on the Bulls since you are our resident Chicago guy here on the podcast? 4-0.
I will say, I will go hand up at least that Tyrese Maxey taking another leap was not in my arsenal there. It wasn't in my predictions either. What he's able to do next to Edgecombe. I mean, I like Edgecombe a ton, but had no expectation that backcourt would be that dynamic. No, he doesn't.
If I close my eyes and try to picture a Tyrese Maxey missed jump shot, I can't do it. I can't. Every time I've seen him take one, they fucking go.
And he gets better as the game goes on, which is what you want out of your best players, superstars. They get better as the game goes on. You'll just watch Maxey, and it just as the game goes on, this guy's just taking over every game so far this year.
He's just a dog. Just a dog, man.
Jake, give us some takes on the Bulls here. What you got? 4-0. I mean, this was probably the biggest surprise, right? Through 4 or 5 games for any team.
I think the biggest surprise is that they're top 10 in defensive rating right now, and you wouldn't imagine that with a guy with Nick Vucevic as your center and just like the setup they have right now, but. I really think it comes down to Buzelis. Like Buzelis actually is 27. He's a great defender, like a help defender for them too. They really play great team defense. It's really hard to even get into the paint against them. So that's been a big hallmark of them is that their defense has been great. But man, Buzelis, when he gets going, he's had a game with 27. He's had a game with 31 this year. Giddey last night, almost a triple-double. He was 28 and 12. They don't even have Kobe White right now. They aren't even at their full operation offense.
You could argue he's their best player too, when healthy.
Yeah, exactly. So what is it going to look like when they have that full starting lineup out there? It's their best start since 21-22 when they started off real hot, and then the injuries kind of derailed their season and everything else. So the Bulls right now are, I mean, obviously early yet, but like we were expecting them to be a middling team, maybe a bad team this year, and they've come out the way the Eastern Conference looks so far, like and it is completely up for grabs. And Steve, I know you were harping on that the whole time we were previewing everything, but there's nobody in this East right now that looks like they can take it and run with it. And so maybe the Bulls are a team who can sneak up into the top 5, top 6 and avoid the play-in, because some of these teams there's going to be a couple surprise teams that do it this year. Dunny and I probably don't want to talk about our teams that much tonight with how it started out, but like with those situations going on right now, The Knicks have been hit or miss. Cat has been, struggling a bit early on. It's like the usual suspects, besides the Bucks, who the Bucks look just like world beaters almost,
Well,
except they just
Giannis
can't beat the Cavs for some reason. Giannis is unreal. If Wemby didn't exist, like Giannis, everybody in the league would just be talking about the way Giannis is playing. So
right.
I think that says great things for the Bulls. Well, I think AJ is asking about Orlando, and I think we're going to get to Orlando later on here in this show to talk about what that. I mean, that's crazy. The Pelicans too, like the way they've looked, just 0-4 is kind of crazy too. AJ in here says the Sixers should trade Embiid. I don't even know what you get for him at this point.
Yeah, at this point,
back to the Sixers.
I think you just keep him because what if he gets better?
I made that point and then corrected myself during our previous show.
You did.
Because I'm like, dude, like if you. Like the
so
process is
money.
over. The process is fucking over.
But my thing is, I feel like at this point, just keeping him isn't really. It's not really a risk anymore. You just what if he gets better, now. Right? You're kind of building a roster that can work regardless of his availability, and I think that's kind of what they did. With these guards, getting Grimes from the Mavs, drafting Edgecombe. Obviously Maxey taking a big step helps. And so they don't really need to rely on him. But if you get flashes of like prime Embiid, no one's complaining. And like we talked about at the start of the show, they're not at full health yet, right? Still got McCain, still got Paul George. Like this is a team that, to be 4-0 in this spot, I mean, obviously every Sixers fan signing up for it. But not only that, it's more so the eye test, right? Sometimes you could be 4-0 and be like, all right, they're going to fall off. Man, I'll tell you what. Those two good Edgecombe and Maxey looks like a nice little core you want to have going forward.
Yeah, and it's not like they're two older guards too. You're like, oh well, if one of them goes down with an injury, it's like, well, one of their young guards already has an injury, and so they're only going to get deeper in the backcourt. And these two guys, just the way they play, like it's almost complementary too, because Maxey's like the sharpshooter. Obviously, he can attack as well, but Edgecombe's just like the freak athlete. So it's a nice little 1-2 punch there. I mean, yeah, I definitely didn't expect this start for the Sixers. And then the Bulls, Jake kind of touched on it. They actually played the Chicago Bulls played the Chicago Bulls last night because DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are on the Kings now. And
my lock of the day yesterday was LaVine over 22.5.
And I had that too.
The loss so easy, too. Bro. He was gonna be chucking all night long.
They gave him the tribute too. You knew LaVine was going to ball out, and that's the beauty of the Kings. Which I don't know if the Kings are necessarily good, but they might be my favorite team to watch. They just have like 6-7 guys that just want to chuck it.
Yeah. I did have this game on for a good bit last night, and I was entertained on the small screen.
See, I was at unbeknownst to me, went to trivia night. Was just trying to go to the bar with some friends, and we ended up at a Halloween trivia night. So I was playing trivia, and in the stadium, in the bar, it was just Bulls and just Dodgers Blue Jays everywhere. I was hoping maybe a Cavs Celtics TV, no Cavs Celtics TV, which I have to AJ is asking us to detour Dodgers or Blue Jays. Do you guys have a quick guess on here? I think we got to go with the Blue Jays at this point.
Yeah, I don't want to doubt the Blue Jays. I think it goes 7 though. I'm gonna say Dodgers get Game 6, but Blue Jays batsmen have just been on a warpath.
My brain still says Dodgers, but my heart says Blue Jays for sure.
I was shocked last night watching that game, like just complete control from the Jays from start to finish. But yes, the Bulls, it was electric. Like the places, the United Center when it's going is one of the best environments in basketball. It just hasn't been going for years. But like a night like last night with the excitement with LaVine coming back, like the people. People are split on LaVine here. There's a lot of people that appreciate him for what he did, but there's a lot of people disappointed in what he ended up to. But you could tell the love last night in the arena. But it's Bulls fans are excited about having, like, they're shocked. They're like, we were not expecting this, but we'll take it. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes.
Now the tough question for these two teams before we move on. I guess a couple questions. So the first being, like, do these guys keep it up? Because I think it's a lot more likely that the Sixers do, just roster construction and the amount of dudes they have on that team, and what we talked about. Like, they still have Paul George and Jared McCain coming back at some point. obviously the shoe could drop with Embiid again. He could be out, but seemingly they haven't really needed Embiid. I mean, he's been great. Embiid's
They
Embiid,
won when he was out too this
Right.
year. They won that game.
So I could see, in my opinion, it's more likely that the Sixers keep this up opposed to the Bulls. But where are you guys with that? Like, if you had to bet that both these teams will be in the play-in or better, would you take that bet?
I mean, yeah, in the play-in or better, I think I take it just because the Bulls, I feel like, always find their way right in that 9-10 sweet
the Chicago
spot.
Bulls Invitational.
Yeah, I don't think we should overreact to 2 4-0 starts, right? But I think what we should do is kind of look at, hey, they do have talent, despite, the concerns. The Bulls, my biggest concern with the Chicago Bulls is just the offensive inconsistency, what you're going to get from Vucevic on a nightly basis in terms of defense with him. Buzelis' defense has really helped. Giddey is carrying over kind of what he did in the second half of last year, which I didn't know.
Good.
Yeah, he's just very good, and I didn't know if he was going to do that. But I think nothing's really changed on my opinions because I was, like I said, a lot higher than you guys were on Philly coming into this year, and I said Philly, there's a chance they could find their way into a top 5 seed in the East just based on their depth and their talent, and I was a very big fan of VJ Edgecombe in college, so I didn't expect him to have this type of start, but I did expect him to be one of the better rookies from this class. Chicago, and I see JPC watching, so I'm going to be as nice as I can when I say this. I'm not going to overreact to the 4-0 start. I think the Bulls, I thought, were kind of right around a bubble playoff team. That opinion doesn't change. However, what I am going to say is I think Buzelis might be one of the more impressive probably guys that can get, that most improved player type deal this year. And he reminds me, his jump a little bit of how Jalen Johnson made that leap last year before he got hurt, where every aspect of his game's improving. His offense, his defense, his shot creating, his playmaking. And that, with his size and his athletic ability, and Buzelis is still very, very young, I think that could be a piece that could actually put the Bulls in, a situation where maybe they are a bigger threat than just kind of that play-in team. And you're right, Dunny, where, they're not, neither team is at their full strength with the lineup. And I've always been a huge Kobe White guy. I think Kobe White's best player on the Chicago Bulls team. So I'd love to see what they'll be like at full strength. But the problem with the Chicago Bulls, it's just the same issues every year, and they're going to arise. There's going to be games where Vucevic gets bullied down low. There's going to be games where they just have shooting inefficiencies. But you take the 4-0 start. You take the 4-0 start and you run with it. But I don't think my opinions on these teams from preseason expectations to now has really changed that drastically for me.
The next 6 games for the Bulls, home and home with the Knicks, home to the Sixers, at Milwaukee, at Cleveland, home to San Antonio. Yeah. So we'll learn a lot in the next 6 games about what, if they can go, even if they go 3-3 in that stretch, I'd feel pretty good about that because that is a daunting stretch.
That is tough stretch.
I don't even want to say daunting, but those are all good teams compared to playing the Kings, the Hawks, the Magic, and the Pistons. It's just a little different. So we'll see what happens, but it is exciting for Bulls fans. I think that what you asked there, Donnie, the Sixers. I mean, if VJ Edgecombe's playing like this, then the Sixers have a better chance to keep it up in this East. But who knows? If Kobe White comes back and returns to his form last year, you could make an argument. Would you rather have the core of Buzelis, Giddey, and Kobe White, or Edgecombe and Maxey? Maxey's probably the best player out of all of it, but the way that they fit and to see how they might go, it's not a talent deficit if Kobe White returns to form in the way that team looks like, which is something you would have had to say about the Bulls in years past, even with DeMar and Levine. The talent just wasn't on the roster, and now they just have young pieces that. The Giddey trade has turned out to be a great thing for them, giving him the money and just the way he's looked to start this year. I mean, best case scenario. So it's exciting to see an exciting team, and the city is ready for an exciting basketball team. They've been ready for it. So
they've definitely been ready. Last thing on the Bulls, it just I just trust the Sixers roster more is all, which is crazy because of the things I said in the offseason and them having Embiid and George. But you just look at the guys who get real minutes for the Bulls right now, and I know Kobe White's coming back, but Jake, you know what happens with Isaac Okoro. And Vucevic, like, yes, he's a great scorer, but like Steve mentioned, there's going to be games where he gets bullied. I don't know, just the guys they're relying on a night-to-night basis. I really like Buzelis. Giddey's great, but just like he does not have an outside shot still. And then it's kind of a drastic fall off after that. Like Patrick Williams never really turned out to be much. Kevin Huerter, great, you got him from the Kings. Yeah. He's a scorer, but we just kind of know what this roster is. But the leaving that on a positive note, I will say, and this is a guy who's been in trade talks for years, like they are in a good spot where if they continue to be above average or kind of punching above their level or their weight class, like they're also in not a bad spot to make a trade if they need to. So
for sure.
We'll see with the Bulls and Sixers. I think Sixers probably more solid of a team. Bulls maybe a little more fool's gold, but we'll see.
Something that's not fool's gold.
Yes, this is the realest thing I've ever seen with my basketball eyes. Victor Wembanyama, MVP. He's amazing, man.
He's good.
He's fucking amazing, dude. He's pretty good. I watch these games and it's like I'm not watching basketball. It defies the sport I played my entire life. I've watched for even longer than I've played. It makes no sense. Right now, Victor Wembanyama through 4 games is averaging 31 points, 13.8 rebounds, pretty much 14 rebounds, 4.8 blocks, and 1.5 steals a game. You really can't say much else about this guy. He's unbelievable. He does everything. He is the Spurs team right now. This is a Spurs team that isn't even at full health. And They're just doing this because Wemby allows them to do pretty much whatever they want. He's the reason, I took him to win MVP for a reason. Spurs haven't lost a game. He's putting up numbers like that.
The MVP pick. Slick's texting me last week, so we haven't talked this before the season start. Dunny was on here solo pod last Thursday and did a great job, but we haven't all talked about this. So Slick's texting me during the Spurs game. He's like, "Should I lace this MVP bet right now? Like in the first half?" He's like, "What are the odds?" I'm like, "It's 12-1. Like it might drop like by the end of the night, whatever." We check after halftime, it's down to 4-1. Like that's how impressive his first half was.
At the end of the game,
better in the country was like
plus 350. We need to.
I wasn't even mad watching that game. I mean, it was, the Mavs hype, new, first overall pick flag, new team, and you're watching that first game, and he made Derek Lively and Anthony Davis look like some of the worst defenders I've ever seen. What he did, the way he did it too, he could score from the inside.
Davis, bro.
And Anthony Davis and Derek Lively, I mean, it was crazy, some of these highlights. The down the court, he blocks it, comes down the other end, little tween through the legs, step back and 1-3 on Lively. I'm like, oh my God. Like it was, I think someone said it online. It's like when, your dad plays like your kids, right? It's the dad versus the kids and the dad's better. And he could just kind of toy with them, hold the ball up above their head, throw it off the backboard, do what he wants. And he can just do that. And then I think it was last game Wemby played where he had a 360 layup, which looked like, I don't know if you guys saw, but it almost looked like he was like a 6-foot guard when he's just going through defenders and he puts the layup in. It was unbelievable. I mean, he's only going to get better. He's 21. He's only going to get better. The Spurs are only going to get better because they have, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, by the way, who's looked really good so far coming off the bench for them. They have potential. I don't know if it's going to happen, especially with the way VJ Edgecombe's playing, but they have potential to be the first team in league history to have 3 straight Rookie of the Years. That's pretty good for a young core to have, especially when you might have the best player in basketball. and it's incredible. They don't even have De'Aaron Fox right now. And this is a team that, I think we always talked about the Oklahoma City Thunder the past 2 years when they were kind of, ahead of their timeline for their rebuild, right? They kind of had the accelerated rebuild where the Thunder, it's like, oh, they got good really quickly. Like it was almost like a year ahead of schedule. And next thing we're talking about the Thunder last year is, oh my God, they're going to win the championship. This is a team that could have a dynasty. I think we're going to have similar conversations about the San Antonio Spurs, which is crazy that we're here already because of how young this team is and how much better Wemby can still get. That's what blows my mind, is that we're seeing, I don't want to say it, but we're seeing one of the worst versions of Wemby we're going to see over the next 10 years. Right?
I mean, that's absolutely right. Like he still has to fill out a little bit. Right. He's still like he's just learning like the intricacies of the game and like what his strengths are and what his teammates' strengths are and how to best like utilize them to get his, get to his shots and everything. I think that's fair. I also think, you mentioned the Thunder. There was the report that apparently Chet Holmgren getting a ring before Wemby really pissed him off this summer. Like his hatred for Chet Holmgren was part of his fuel. And I think that's part of the thing you see with Wemby this year. And we talked about it, like meeting with the monks and training with KG and training with Akeem and all this stuff. It's like, okay, like what does that actually, how does that actually manifest when you're doing all that stuff? Like, what does that actually mean for your development as a basketball player? Well, what it's meant is that Wemby's got an edge now. Like Wemby was kind of like the nice guy coming in. Like everybody loved him. He was affable, like very, he's this interesting guy. He's French. Like we don't know a lot about him. He's got a funky last name. He's super long. Like he was kind of just like an anomaly, right? Like people were like intrigued by him, but now he's got that competitive edge that you need to be a superstar in the NBA, to be one of the best players in the NBA, to be one of the best players in NBA history, which is, I'm sorry to put that on him, like that pressure on him. I don't think he cares what I'm saying, what kind of pressure I put on him, but that's what people are expecting at this point. Now, the way that he looks and the talent and the skill level that he has and the skill set that he has, like if he's not a top 15, 20 NBA player by the end of his career, people are going to be like, it was a disappointment. Wemby's career, he was not a bust, but like he didn't live up to the expectations. Right. And I think he has taken that, internalized it, and is now using it as fuel. And that's all you want to see from guys like this, because basketball, and I harp on this a lot, like it is so much more mental than any of these other sports. Like you have 15 guys on the court who all think that they can go get a bucket at any time. Like you have to have that mindset. And not saying that Wemby didn't have that mindset, but I think he's finally understanding like what that actually means in the terms of being an NBA superstar and the opportunity that's in front of him, and just clearly has taken it by the horns and put in work to get better and better every year, where this year he just looks, it's just a look of like, just confident, like knowing himself, like confidence in what he is and who he is and what the team around him is. It's just a beautiful thing to see, because they're playing some beautiful basketball. They don't even shoot the ball well yet either. Like they just are such dogs. They're defensive menaces. But they still get good, efficient shots. And I think any shot he takes is really a good, efficient shot at this point. Like they're so early in their development that when you say like, are they the next dynasty right up there with the Thunder? Like you see, Fox hasn't even played a game yet. Like a potential all-star level guard with this guy hasn't even touched the floor. It's scary to think about what this team could be.
It's crazy, but like yeah, we talk about like the comparison to the Thunder, and like the Spurs team's already arrived, man. Like they're here. As long as they have Wemby on the court, and I've seen enough from the supporting cast, and this has nothing to do with me being a Celtics fan. Like I've watched all the Spurs games, like I've watched all the Celtics games. Luke Cornett has been fucking awesome for the Spurs team. Like I don't think we would have thought that it would be such a nice compliment, those guys playing next to each other. Like he has been great, and whether they're playing alongside each other or if he comes in to spell Wemby. It's just worked out perfectly. And like you guys mentioned, Castle's been unbelievable. We haven't had Fox yet. And I was, while you guys were talking about Wemby, I was just doing some research here. So And LeBron's age 21 season was 05-06. They had the same amount of points per game. Well, if we're taking Wemby stats right now, obviously some of this could change. Well, some of this will change. Wemby nearly doubled up his rebounds. He did double up his rebounds. So 14 compared to 7. LeBron had the edge in the assist. And then the stocks is just LeBron didn't even average a full block a game. Obviously, you know, different players, different size. But just to put that into perspective for people, Wemby's a much better three-point shooter at age 21 than LeBron was. Better free throw shooter. So just some perspective in case you weren't already aware of how good Wemby is, like comparing it to age 21 LeBron, who is an absolute monster. Pretty incredible stuff here from our friend Wemby.
We might have to rename the Defensive Player of the Year award the Victor Wembanyama Award, because if voter fatigue doesn't become a play here, he's just going to win it every single year. I mean, it's not even just the stocks, Tony. The stocks are one thing. It's the fact of how many shots he causes NBA players to not shoot, to actually like pass it out, be like, I'm not going up. Just watching that game, I'm watching the Mavs Spurs first game of the year, and these players just like they have an open look, and any other time they take it, and then Wemby comes close, like, nope, pass it away. And he's done that in every single game they played so far. Just his presence alone has made NBA players, which Jake, you talked about, NBA players, their mindset is I can get a bucket whenever I want. That's how you have to be to get to the NBA. It has made them be second guess themselves. Be like, no way, I'm not pulling that up. This layup, this contact layup, I'm not trying to go for that. I'm gonna kick it out. I'm gonna kick it out.
Some threes, bro. No, even if he's out on the perimeter, guys are passing up jump shots.
Like, wide open threes. He moves a little bit, and they're like, nope. It's like they're playing hot potato when they play the Spurs. No one wants to shoot the ball. And it's so impressive because we're also talking about a guy who's averaging nearly 5 blocks a game. It's wild to me. I genuinely think we might see multiple quadruple doubles from him. Like at some point where
surprise, man.
All he has to do is just get his playmaking up a little bit. And right now he doesn't need to because the Spurs have some great guards on this team. But I mean, this is a guy, like I said, that's just only going to get better. This is the worst version of him. And we're talking about these guys averaging 5 blocks a game right now. Like he's only going to get better, more aware, kind of, anticipate when someone's going to shoot or passing lanes and stuff like that as he plays more and more. It's terrifying. Now, I do want to ask you guys one question real quick because the Spurs obviously are 4-0. The Thunder 5-0, the only 2 undefeated teams in the West. Do you think this Spurs team, when we talked about how loaded the West was and everything, do you think this Spurs team can win the Western Conference this year?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Steve, we should have put our foot down when we said they could be contenders.
I know, we should have. We really should have done it.
They probably
should have.
Can. I still think the Thunder are better than everybody else. They don't even have J-Dub back.
Yeah,
and they're
5-0.
I think the Thunder are better still, but can they win the West? Yes.
I know, Donnie. We really should.
My only hold up is that I think the Thunder are still a level ahead of any team in the NBA right now. So
what about the Nuggets?
I think all 3 teams could win the West.
Can we talk about another team
in a 7-game series right now?
Can we talk about another team? Who? Spurs and Nuggets
right now?
Yeah,
I'm taking.
I think I still take Denver.
Someone would have to peel my body off this Wemby train right now, dude. I
know. I'm not getting
the only thing.
You wrote the MVP odds so hard. You were Yeah.
I think the only person
I placed the bet that night, and now it's down to fucking peanuts.
Yeah, that was a good call placing it the night before. That was awesome. But the only person who I think could make Wemby look silly in a playoff series is Jokic. Like if anybody could figure out how to attack him, it's going to be Nikola Jokic. So I would be interested to see how he would try to do that and how they would try to pull that off. But maybe it could also be like. Now that I'm thinking about it, it could also be a scenario where I'm saying that and then Jokic just gets dogged like the whole series. Right. Like, oh, this shit's over. Like Jokic, he has no answer for Wemby either. Like I can see both players playing out.
I want to see Bucks Spurs, but whenever they play each other first, I just want to see Giannis versus Wemby, two just freaks, athletic freaks of nature,
Well,
just going at it.
we had a much lesser version of that when the Pelicans played the Spurs last week, and Zion dunked on Wemby right away, and then Wemby was like, "That's never happening again."
Yeah,
Just plotting the shit out of him.
Yeah, enjoy it while you can.
Bucks Spurs does not happen until January 15th, so we got some time.
Just please both play. Just both play that game, please.
Man. So I know this isn't bold, but I remember doing it last year, and I think we had a list of like maybe we got up to like 5 names.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't trade Wemby for a single player in the NBA right now.
No, I wouldn't.
Are we talking it's like going forward, like you're building a franchise?
Like the trade value list that Bill Simmons.
Yeah, I mean,
ages are all involved in everything.
Yeah, if you're talking age into consideration to 21 years old with his ceiling, I don't think you can. If you're talking try to win this year, then maybe you can argue Jokic or SGA. Like
the only person I would argue is Luka, honestly.
Yeah,
Luka. Age and what he can do. It's just like a completely different skill set, but he.
I want to say last year we said Jokic still. I think we said SGA, Luka, and I think I probably threw in Tatum.
You threw in Tatum, and then I think I threw in Giannis.
Yeah.
I think I threw in Giannis.
I think it's the only one I would think about is
easy
Luka.
For me to say none.
Well, if it's just this year, I think you still have to consider Giannis and Jokic because they dominate the games in their own right. But yeah, if you're talking like building a franchise, if we told the NBA, all right, you're resetting and you have first pick. If you don't take Wemby, you're a fool.
Yeah, Wemby's going one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like he has to go one at this point. And then you can argue, probably
then it's
Luka, SGA, and then Jokic, Giannis based on age. How long?
Which man,
especially
I'm ready to take SGA out of these conversations with these 4 because the way that he I'm sorry.
I get what you're saying.
I just can't, and it's my issue with there's a lot of players in the league that are doing it and they're rewarding it. But man, he had the game he had a couple weeks ago was 26 free throws. It's like you're not doing this. Getting to the line and it's a skill, whatever, but it's not the same as what Wemby and Giannis and Luka are doing, in their scoring. It's just not the same.
He did only have 2 against the Mavs when they played, so I'll give him a pass there. I think the thing with SGA is he's very, very efficient, and the way he kind of takes over games is a lot more subtle than a Luka, Giannis, Jokic, where when they take over games, it's like highlight after highlight. You're looking in the first quarter and you're like, oh my God, they have 17, 7, and 6 in the first quarter. SGA is just like 10 points first quarter, 10 points second quarter, 10 points. Like, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things too with SGA as well, is when he's playing poorly, he then has 18 points and maybe 10 of them are free throws, but he has 18 points in the fourth quarter and his stat line ends with 35 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. But I do agree with you guys where I know he won the MVP, won the championship and everything. In terms of just being able to take over a game, I think you have to just put Wemby kind of in that category with Jokic, Giannis, Luka, where they can just, doesn't matter who's with them. When they're going, and when they're kind of just laser focused, locked in, they can do whatever they want, whenever they want.
Well, and the thing with Wemby too is I think for people in year 2, so last year, everyone was everyone for the amount of games he played, I didn't know he didn't play much, but I think people were a little disappointed in his play style. Oh my God, this guy's 7'4" and the outside shooting's too much. Look at the way he entered this season. Even in the preseason, you saw him just bodying guys down low and just dunking over everyone. Now the 3-point shot looks more efficient. He's playing inside more. Everything just looks more polished. All the training he did this summer. We always see players, doing their own off-season workouts, whatever they may be. Everyone's a little different. Wemby, it got a little cute by the end of it, right? He was, it was more of a fun story than this guy's off-season training. That shit paid off, man. It's very clear just watching the product on the court. Obviously, it was freakish from his first game as a rookie to whenever he played last, but now it's like it's freakish, but it's scary freakish because you're like, holy shit, this stuff it's actually working for this guy.
Did you see? I think it was a couple games ago when we pulled a logo 3, drilled it. He got I think the block, the rebound, just dribbled up the court and just pulled a logo, almost like a heat check 3. If he starts hitting threes from Curry range, what are we going to do? That's confidence too, right? That's the confidence you want to see when he gets a big defensive stop and he's just like, I'm just going to pull this up. That's kind of like what LeBron did, where LeBron's not chucking 15 threes a night. But when he's like, oh, I'm feeling pretty good, I'm locked in, and he pulls up a logo. If Wemby's doing that right now, oh boy, Wemby from Curry range,
Yeah, man, it's nuts. I think obviously I'm a little more excited because of the MVP call and the wager, but I like this. This is the most fun I've had watching an individual that doesn't play for my team in quite some time.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. It's must-watch TV. Like if he's on, you have to have it on.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you haven't watched a Spurs game this year, you have homework. You have homework from the 3 of us.
They're on well, if you're listening to on Friday, they were on last night. But if you're watching live, they are on tonight, 8:30 Eastern time. Get league pass, figure it out, whatever you got to do. It's a thing of beauty. Like it is amazing. Can we talk? We brought up Curry range. Can we talk about Curry himself?
Yeah, we can
talk about this team because I wanted them, and maybe it was a little of I just wanted this team to be dead. I really just wanted to bury them and just get rid of them. Steph Curry, that part's not surprising me. Him being excellent again, like I think he's going to be able to do this for 5 more years. Just he's the best conditioned NBA player maybe of all time, and just like pays so much attention to his body, and the shooting's never going to go away. But Jimmy Butler has surprised me, guys. Like I was not expecting this. I didn't think he could get to and it's early. He's healthy right now. Like I want to take it with a grain of salt. But if Jimmy Butler is playing like this and playing at an all-star level, like the Warriors are, it's so weird because we're talking about the Spurs and the Nuggets and the Thunder, who are all giant teams, and this Warriors team is a small. They're pretty small. It's Jimmy and Steph and a lot of other guys just like pitching in here and there every night. But how could you doubt the infrastructure at this point with the Warriors to be hanging around at the top of the West?
You just can't, and it's one of those things where I think we talked about it in the preseason show. You just can't doubt Steph Curry. Every time you start to doubt him, he just does something out of this world that brings you right back. But I think you're right with Jimmy Butler is we saw a very small sample size the second half of last year when he joined the Warriors, and it looked like Jimmy enjoyed basketball again, and he was playing great, and the Warriors were playing great. And I think the 3 of us and probably a bunch of other NBA fans just kind of forgot that. Because, the Warriors didn't have that deep playoff run. And we're just like, well, this team's old. Look at the age. Look at this. But, guys, Jimmy Butler played really, really well at the end of last year when he was on Golden State. And he's carried that over into this year. And if he's playing well and Steph's playing well, I say it all the time, those are 2 of, the biggest game risers in the NBA where, when the stakes are higher, they're playing their best basketball. And this is – 2 guys where I think they can carry a team that's old. They can carry a team that doesn't have a lot of talent. But I do want to touch on, I think, a reason why the Warriors are 4-1, why they are playing well. Jonathan Kuminga looks locked in.
Yeah.
Kuminga looks locked in, and you need a 3rd guy to go with these 2. And Kuminga's playing to where we thought Kuminga could get to, where his potential was when the Warriors drafted him. And if he's playing like that, I mean, I'm not doubting Steph. I'm not picking against this team. You just watch Steph. I think it was the game against was it the Lakers they played, I believe, where he just the Nuggets, where he willed them back when they were playing the Nuggets, and Steph willed them back, and you just thought the Nuggets would kind of blow out the Warriors. And next thing you know, Steph's just going nuclear, hitting logo 3 after logo 3, and this is just the type of team where you just can't count these guys out. You just can't count them out. You can't count Jimmy Butler out. And as long as they have those 2 healthy, everything else falls into place. You know, we talk about certain teams in the NBA where they get the best out of their role players. I think we have to put the Warriors in that category. They always seem to get these guys. Yeah, exactly. They just always seem to get these guys that just fit perfectly into that puzzle and do what they need to do. And maybe it's not an every night thing, but like you said, Donnie, you know, one night it'll be Post, one night it'll be Buddy Hield, maybe Gary Payton one night. And you have that kind of, you know, Curry, Butler core. Yeah, it's just they're not dead.
They're certainly not dead at all. And to the Kuminga point, it's so crazy because not just in basketball, in sports, do we see a situation like Kuminga had with the whole organization and Steve Kerr? Like we saw last year, Kuminga was legitimately getting benched in certain games for behavioral issues or dispute he had with Kerr. I'm not saying those as a list of things that happened. I'm speculating because we never really knew, but it was very clear this is a guy who could have made that rotation last year. It was getting benched for one reason or another. Then there was all these reports this summer about how Kuminga wasn't happy. He wanted to move on. The organization had no plans on, bringing Kuminga back. All of a sudden, right before the season starts, they get a deal done. Kuminga looks awesome. So, I guess we chalk it up to this is what the Warriors do, and if Steph's going to be Steph, then they're going to have a free ride to the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's just kind of what happens with this group.
The thing with Kuminga too is still only 23 years old. Like, dude came right out from Ignite. Like he hasn't even come close to his prime yet. So it's looking like a good bet that the Sixers made that he still had room to grow, or the Warriors made that he still had room to grow and had more to give to this team.
Right.
Work through the uncomfort and make him stay. And they needed him. Like we were talking about, like, what's the Kuminga replacement going to be if you guys don't sign him? We talked about that, leading up to the season, and then here it is, and he's balling out. So 53% from the field. I just looked it up. That's insane.
Yeah.
and when you got Jimmy and Steph playing like they are, like, shit's gonna be easy for you when you're out there. Like, there's gonna be some looks that you weren't getting last year.
As long as he stays on Draymond's good side, man, he should be all right.
And that's the thing too, is Draymond, Jimmy, and Kuminga, like, as defenders, is just havoc, man. It's gonna be tough to deal with. Yeah, exactly. So
they moved on from Looney, bro. Like, things are just still work for this team. So we'll see. I mean, this is a team that I'm sure we'll see middle of the season, maybe dealing with some injury stuff, maybe drop some games. But I believe what I said a few minutes ago, man. Like, if they have Steph and the supporting cast is doing what it's doing right now, they have a ticket to the playoffs. And that's this Warriors group. It's cool, man. It is really cool. I do one of our fantasy basketball leagues. I have Steph. I don't think I've ever had Steph in fantasy basketball, so that's been fun.
It's fun, yeah. It's a fun time.
That's a good time.
And it's kind of like what we said. Like, you should be watching Wemby right now, maybe even more so, just for the fact that you don't know how many years we're gonna get left of. I mean, that goes for Steph, LeBron, all these guys, but you should be tuning into Warriors game right now.
You don't even need to watch all of them. Just watch, like, the late night, like, prime time Warriors game, because Steph's just turn it on at halftime. Steph has like 4 points on 2 of 3 shooting. You're like, now I'm turning it on at halftime because this is when this guy's just going to take this game over. And he just does it. It's so effortless, guys. It's so effortless. It just looks so good. He's so much fun to watch.
He is so much fun to watch. And something else that's pretty fun, guys, is blind resumes. You guys want to do a little blind resume here? Player A, player B?
I think I got it.
It's in the doc. I think I know who it is.
Okay, so we're gonna do a blind resume. I have 2 players in the doc. I've had it in here all day. Steve and Jake have looked it over. Steve told me he has some predictions before the show. We're gonna do the blind resume. Then we're gonna give our surprise teams and give one player each some flowers before we finish the show. But blind resume, let's do it. Player A is averaging 22.3 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 5.5 assists per game, is shooting 47.1% from the field, 43% from 3, pretty fucking good, Player B, 27 points per game. So they have the edge here in scoring by about 5 points. Player B does. Rebounds per game, 3.8. So less on the rebounds for player B. Around the same assists per game, 5 compared to 5.5. 50% from the field, so pretty damn good. And 42.3% from 3, also pretty damn good. Steve, I'll let you go first because you were pretty. You said you are almost positive you know who player B is, right?
I'm almost 99% sure because I also own this guy in fantasy, the player B, Steph Curry, who we just talked about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Steph Curry.
I was wrong. I thought it was
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell. I thought that was Donovan Mitchell player.
I remember like it's one of those where you kind of check your fantasy lineups. You're like, oh, this guy's doing this or whatever, and I saw that I was 27. I feel like that rings a bell. Like the 27 and 5.
I know the 27 flat kind of screwed me.
Yeah, and so I was like 99% that Steph Curry, and then I have a theory for player A. I was like, because I got to get in the mind of Dunny here. I'm like, who would Dunny want to pick to try to have me pick against my beloved Steph Curry?
Well,
so my first thought.
Wait, can I have Jake guess player A
first?
Yeah,
have Jake guess.
Well, I think I know this because I was doing prep earlier today, and I think I saw the stat line.
Steve guess first.
So Steve go first.
I have 3 theories for player A. The first one is I'm like, is it a Celtic? Is he really going to go Celtic versus Curry? And I'm looking at the averages, and I don't think it's Jaylen Brown. My first thing was Derek White, but I also don't think it's Derek White.
Derek White's been struggling.
Exactly. So. And I don't think that's Jaylen Brown's stat line. And I don't think you would pick Jaylen Brown. My second one is I'm like, all right, he's probably going to pick a guy that's like kind of been hovering under the radar, that's been balling out, like a younger guy we both like. And I thought Keontae George of Utah. But I think his assists are higher. Keontae George and Utah just overall have just been balling out. And then I'm pretty sure with the 43% three-point percentage, 22 like 6 and 6, and I've been taking his points prop and his assist prop, and it keeps going up and up. I think is this VJ Edgecombe?
I'll let Jake guess, and then I'll tell you guys.
I also believe that it's VJ Edgecombe.
It is VJ.
Let's go.
Okay, so for 2 reasons we need to do this again. 1, that was fun. 2, I need to make it harder next time. For sure.
You picked like 2 of my favorite players so far. I was like,
I thought it was Mitchell. Those are pretty damn
first,
close to Mitchell stats too.
Yeah, if I didn't like look up Curry like probably today on lunch, like on my fantasy team, I don't think the 27 flat, like I said, Dunny gave it away.
So Mitchell this year is 28 points, 2.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 54 from the field. So it's like one off everything. Guess better from the field, but.
So when I was doing this research for the resumes, I did kind of have an idea of the show doc as well, but I didn't know like what order we are going to talk about stuff. So it seemed fitting. I knew we were going to talk about the Sixers a little bit. Knew we were going to talk about the Warriors a little bit. But yeah, my biggest thing with drawing this is just like people should understand how good VJ Edgecombe is playing. Like it's not just that 30-point game that he had against the Celtics in his debut, because as you can see, he's only averaging 22.3. So it's come down since that first game, but just the fact that how close his stats are to Steph right now, in a lot of categories, he's shooting the 3 ball better than Steph right now. Both of them are just shooting it unbelievably from the field. So I just wanted people to be aware of this rookie. We have guys like Cooper Flagg who had a better game last night, who have struggled a little bit as a rookie. And I don't think anyone saw this coming from Edgecombe. I know some of the sharps in the NBA draft world were excited about the pick, but we're kind of, just curious what Philly was going to be, much like us. But no, Edgecombe's rocking, man. And when I actually was breaking down the stats, the field goal percentage and 3-point percentage is what surprised me most. I guess the assists too. Like Maxi's a pretty ball dominant guy, and the fact that both these guys are just entrusted with the keys to the Sixers offense is pretty damn cool. But yes, I'll definitely have to make this harder next time we do a blind resume.
That was
I
good
should have
though.
known. I should have known I was coming at Steve with Steph Curry.
Yeah.
He probably had a picture of that in his brain.
When Dunny does a blind resume, I'm like, all right, who's he trying to bait me into picking against? So I got to go, all right, what are the guys I love? I'm like, I know that stat line. I know that stat line. Edgecombe was good, though, because I really thought you were going Celtic, and I didn't think Jaylen Brown's stats were that. Like,
Well, you know what else kills me too is like I wanted to do a guard one for whatever reason. I was pretty
Yeah.
fixated on that, and like Lucas hurt,
Yep.
Ant's hurt, Fox hasn't started the season. There's a couple other ones that I was like, oh, I can't even make comparisons to these guys. There's so many injuries right now. When I first started the research, I was like, maybe I'll do a LeBron and someone else, but obviously LeBron's not playing right now, so kind of a weird start to the season. But I wanted to give Edgecombe some love, so that was my, I think, first ever blind resume on Happy Hour Hoops. So we'll definitely have to do a couple more of those.
Might have to rotate it. We might have to rotate.
Yeah. I like that.
I will end up picking like two guys with like 6 points per game and just be like, who are these bums?
I'll guess who it is.
I'll just pick whoever's props have been smashing for me that way. Like, oh, this guy's been balling out.
All right, let's do our surprise team. So this is kind of just who we've been most surprised by. To start the year, I'll go first here because this one hurts, man. I felt good about myself during the prediction show. For my Eastern Conference matchup, I said it was going to be Cavs Magic in the Eastern Conference going at it, battling. And the Orlando Magic, man, they just, even with the addition to Desmond Bane, they've just been pretty disappointing to start the year. They had an okay win. I'm trying to find it now. I lost their schedule, but they 1-4.
Beat Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the first game of the year, right? Yeah. I was tuned in.
They lost 4 straight.
Yeah, they've lost 4 straight. That Miami game was encouraging. I was actually watching that on the small screen. They kind of fought back in that fourth quarter. Since then, they've dropped one to the Hawks, 111-107 to the Bulls, 110-98 to the Sixers, 136-24, and then the Detroit Pistons 135-116. So this like Magic defensive identity, especially in the last 2, has kind of gone away, where they've given up 136 and 135. Bane has looked good and not so good here and there. And I just thought with this group and this starting lineup, like they got Suggs, Franz is healthy, Paolo's healthy, Wendell, who has been a guy that I've just loved for years, Wendell Carter Jr., he's looked great to start the year. But for whatever reason, it's not working out for the Orlando Magic. I was getting a little cute when I predicted them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, but a team that I just truly believe in. I watched them battle with the Celtics in the regular season the last couple of years, and then in the playoffs last year, and they were super impressive. So early, I'm not giving up on this Magic team, but definitely super disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jalen Suggs being limited kind of hurts them a little bit too. He's only been able to play 20 minutes a game, and I think he's going to be their primary ball handler when he gets going. And I'm not too worried about the Magic, mainly because I think if you watch him, and I've watched, I think, 3 games of the Magic this year, Desmond Bane just hasn't really found his comfortability role on that team yet. It just kind of feels like he's just kind of standing around, just waiting to chuck up a shot, and he's a much better player than that overall. This is a classic, I think water finds its balance. There's just too much talent on this team when healthy to be bad. We talked about how much we like Banchero. We talked Franz Wagner. We talked about him, and I know he's been dealing with a little bit of an injury to start the year too, where he's been, questionable for every game and still plays. But this is a team, Duddy, I'm not too worried about. I think the 1-4 start's a little bit of a surprise, but I think this also happens when you get a big name, a guy who's, a really good player and a new team. You kind of feel each other out the first couple of weeks together. And it's tough to feel each other out, especially when you're I think their primary ball handler, their guard Jalen Suggs, can only play 20 minutes a night right now because he is limited and the coaching staff's restricting his minutes. So it's a lot of different lineups mixing together. And this is a team right now that is losing because their defense has been bad. And what have we known about the Orlando Magic the past couple of years? They have one of the best defenses in the league. So I'm not not too worried about this team. It is a surprise they're 1-4, but we're talking about 5 games into an 82 game season. I think this team's only going to get better as the year goes on, and I'm still very hopeful that this Magic team can be one of those teams come April where like they might make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, they definitely need a fully healthy Suggs. It's just been, it has been like a stagnant offense, it feels like, and that's, you notice that from a point guard. Like, you need your point guard. Like, I think that's a theme with a lot of these teams that are like Steve. Both of our teams need our point guards back. Like, it's very.
Or play a guard, Mavs. Play a guard. Play a guard. I get it's fun.
Don't play keeper flag in a position he's never played
tall
in before.
lineup. But that's the thing, man. You put so much pressure on the rookie to begin with. Play a guard. The thing that drives me nuts is last night they're looking horrible off the start against the Pacers. They bring in D'Angelo Russell, and you guys know I'm not a huge D'Angelo Russell guy, and everything just starts clicking. What are we doing?
I don't know why NBA teams came into this year and are like, you know what, we don't need any more point guards.
Point guard.
We can go without point guards. Like, no.
What are you
guys talking about?
Like the Rockets.
It's the Cavs issue too.
Yeah.
The Cavs are playing Donovan Mitchell as a point guard. Like, he is not a point guard.
What's what I'm saying? What are we doing? Just get a playmaker. I don't get it at all, and it's driving me nuts because I'm watching this Mavs team. I go, you're not stupid, Mavs. You clearly see the offense is running better when you have a playmaking guard on the court, and all these teams do. You know who's also doing it? The Pelicans.
The Pelicans, the Wolves. Like, DiVincenzo's not a point guard. He's never played a point guard in the league.
No, it's insane what these teams are just like. Oh, point guard? Nah, we don't need that position.
We don't need that. No, why would you need that?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Point guard.
No, I
don't hate Amen Thompson though. I do think he could become that type of athletic guard down the road.
And they didn't do this by choice. Like, if Van Vliet was playing, they would have. Yeah,
the Rockets get a pass. Van Vliet would have been that guy, and
he would have been setting
the Rockets get a pass, but it was also glaring on opening night when they lose because Reed Shepherd was dribbling into the corner and not giving the ball to Kevin Durant.
That's tough.
That's kind of a different issue.
But yes.
Reed Shepherd's a whole other thing.
Before you guys give your surprise teams, because I don't want to spend too much more time on the Magic, did you guys see what Kirk Goldsberry said about Paolo Banchero?
No.
Because this shit fucking made me angry, bro.
Oh.
He suggested the idea. What if Paolo Banchero is just Josh Smith?
Oh, that's
and I'm
mean.
like, so
that's mean.
Hey, Josh Smith was a great player at one point, but
he was fun.
He's
much better offensive back.
He's never averaged over 20 points per game in a season. Paolo Banchero's done that every fucking year he's been in the league. What are we talking about, dude?
I mean, his
compared to Josh Smith is night and day.
They're not even close to the same type of player either.
No.
Josh Smith was like kind of like slow, but like also smooth and like would throw the hammer down and had a jump shot. Paolo doesn't really have a jump shot. Josh Smith has never been asked to be the number one on a team ever. Paolo's done that every year he's been in the league.
One.
I just
between
the Jeremy Lin comparison and the Paolo Banchero Josh Smith comparison, I'm like, are you sure you guys watch the sport?
Are you guys watching basketball? Yeah.
Oh man, that fired me. I was going through Josh Smith stats today because of how pissed off I was at that. I used to love Jay Smoove in 2K, but what are we doing here, man? Like the Magic start 1-4 and people start losing their fucking marbles. But anyway, who are your guys' teams?
I'll be quick with mine because I don't. The surprise is just how much fun this team is for me. And it's the Utah Jazz, bro.
Yeah,
like the Utah Jazz have been appointment television. Lauri Markkanen is just destroying teams night by night. He has 51 the other night. They've only lost. Their 2 losses are by 2 points to the Trailblazers and 1 point to the Kings. Like they've been in all these games. They've been high scoring affairs most of the time. It's just been a fun team to watch. I don't know what the fuck they want to do. Like, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish right now. Like if Lauri Markkanen will end up getting traded, will not end up getting traded. Now that would be an interesting. We talked about the Bulls and the Spurs and whoever all these teams want to package some guys up for. Like Lauri feels like the guy who might be on the move later this year, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know what to make of this Kings. They're this Jazz team right now. It's a weird roster, but they've got guys. They've like Markkanen playing out of his mind. Like we talked about Keontae George a little bit and how he's playing to start the year, and just it's maybe Danny knows what he's doing. Maybe he's just building and trying to surprise the league. But I've tuned in a couple times, not from the start of games, but from like following along on Twitter and being like, oh my God, I got to check out what's going on in this Jazz game. And it's just been a joy to watch them play basketball this year. So that's my surprise.
I mean, you know, with me, the past couple of years, I've loved the Jazz's draft classes. I'm like, eventually, like they're going to kind of figure it out, this young core. Another thing, too, and I was going to include this guy on giving our flowers, but I'll just give him his flowers now. Did Lauri Markkanen have the quietest 51-14 game, like, of all time?
Ever.
I think so.
Did like
Ever,
nobody,
yeah.
not
Also
a
happy
peep,
hour hooper of the night.
not a peep about it, and he was going nuts. He's averaging over 30 points a game right now, and I get it's a little inflated because it's the 51-point game, but not a peep. And it's just one of those things where I don't know if you guys remember in the offseason rumors that, you know, maybe the Warriors might go after him, and people were laughing at it and being like, oh, the Warriors don't want him. This guy's a bum, blah, 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 blah. Maybe the quietest 51-point game ever. It's insane. So, yeah, the Jazz, I mean, I didn't think they would be, but they're turning into that fun, just we're not going to play a lick of defense. We're going to beat you 135, 133 team. And, hey, late night league pass. Hand up, by the way. Hand up. The no league pass Steve lasted 2 days. I canceled league pass last 2. Now, to be fair, I might have a coworker that might have a premium league pass account. We might have a nice little deal going right now, so we might be getting league pass at a discount. So it's not like I gave in all the way, NBA, to give you, your full amount for league pass when 90% of the games are on random different streaming platforms now. But hand up, I told you there are going to be a lot of apologies today. I'm going to apologize, but now thinking that I'm a basketball junkie and I didn't need league pass. And after bootleg streaming for 2 days, I was like, enough is enough. I want to watch the Mavs in good quality with the commentators. B, I would like to tune into some of these late night games still. And I forgot that, not having League Pass means you only get what the ESPN provides or the one primetime game. And I don't get to watch my Trailblazers. I don't get to watch the Jazz. I don't get to watch the Kings. So hand up. We're back. I'm
proud of you for that.
Thank you for that. It took a lot for me to admit that I needed it.
I still haven't bit the bullet because they don't have the FanDuel bet $5 get 3 months free.
Yeah,
so I'm waiting until I see that price drop right now. I might have to bite the bullet sometime, but I'm like, hey, listen, give me my 3 months free. It's like I think it's through DraftKings. It's like you have to win a $5 bet as a new customer. I'm like, how many new customers are out there for these gambling sites now? Like, like how they keep doing these new bonus bet customers. Like who doesn't have it? But anyways, that was my issue. I went to FanDuel. I was like, where is my league pass for 3 months with my $5? Don't have it. Ridiculous.
Hey, last thing
probably the good thing for Adam Silver. Get away from the gambling.
Our guy Walter Clayton Jr.
Hey, he's been fun off the bench. He's been fun off the bench, though.
3-ball hasn't been there, but he's looked pretty good.
It's been fun. I'm happy for him. I was like, I just hope he gets minutes and he can play with confidence, and it looks like he has. So yeah, big fan there.
He's contributing. Steve, hit us with your
surprise
team.
Originally, my surprise team was going to be the Chicago Bulls, but I think we talked about him enough for it. Really, Buzelis and Josh Giddey have been the reason I wanted to bring up the Chicago Bulls because those guys have just both really impressed me. So I want to throw another team in there, and it's very similar to Jake's team, fun West Coast team. I got to put the Portland Trailblazers up there, guys. I got to put the Portland Trailblazers up there because it would not be a Happy Hour Hoops podcast if I didn't at least name drop my guy Denny Advia one more time. Denny Advia looks like he could lead a team, man. He's been unbelievable. He's averaging 22, 6, and 4. It looks like, he'll take over games at the end. He's scoring over 20 every single game. When he needs to be a playmaker, he can. When he needs to play big down low, he can. When he needs to shoot, he can. But not just him. And Dunny, I know you might appreciate this. You might be a little, heartstrings here. Drew Holiday still got it. Drew Holiday looks like one of
the.
We're just talking about guys. We're just talking about teams that are like not playing point guards, and they're just like, you need a guy who could be the point. Drew Holiday's done all that. And if you want to talk about him in a minute, Tony, I'll save that for you.
Yeah,
but my God, I've been so impressed because I thought he was just that corner three merchant the past couple years, and he still had his defense, right? He still had his defense, but I'm like, oh, he's not going to be the Drew Holiday of old, guys. Drew Holiday, and I know they don't have Scoot Henderson right now, but I think Scoot might just be coming off the bench when he comes back because I don't think he's taking Drew's role. Drew Holiday's making this engine run. They got a couple fun bigs. Jonathan Clingan looks really good. I can't wait to see when Yang Hansen gets a little more run, but Shaden Sharp is a guy who could score 30 any night. Denny Avia, like I said, you know how much I love this guy. Jeremy Grant's playing well again. Another guy who's just been so underappreciated his entire career. This Blazers team is fun, and similar to the Jazz, they don't want to beat you 98-96. They want to beat you 135 to 125. They beat the Warriors by 20 this year. They just beat the Jazz 136, 134, and this is a team, they're 3-2, and I know the West is loaded, and I know it's tough. So I'm just going to put them in the fun category where it's no longer like, hey, we're going to Portland, we're going to win by 25. It's, hey, we're going to Portland. It's going to be a 130, 128 game. We just hope we're on the right side of it. And that's what I love to see. And like I said, I don't necessarily think they're a great team, but I think they're a fun team. And I think just similar to the Jazz, they're trending in the right direction.
That's my apology of the day. I will apologize for my hate of the Trailblazers. I'll put my hand up on the Trailblazers. Not the worst team in the West.
Who did you do you remember the teams you said were going to be better than the Blazers? Not just the West, Jake. Not just the West.
I said a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have picked the Pelicans. I wanted to roast the Pelicans in this segment, but I'll wait till later in the year. Let's see if Zion, is ever healthy in his entire career for
play a point guard. 3 games at a time. Please just play a point guard. Oh my God. Talk about a team that needs DeJounte Murray back. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's going to get his shots, that's for sure.
I do think that team is going to be night and day better when DeJounte Murray comes back.
They will. But the fact that they're 0, they shouldn't.
But by the time he comes back, Zion might be on the shelf.
Yeah, Zion. Yeah.
You're not wrong. Yeah. I'm not going to completely panic on them. Yeah, they've been horrible. They've been so bad.
It's been gross. So
it's been pretty bad, man. All right, you guys want to give some flowers here quickly?
Yeah,
let's do it.
You want to go reverse order?
Yeah.
You want? Yeah.
Okay, give it to us.
All right, well, I have to talk about the Cavs at least a little bit on here, and at least one guy. It's Sam Merrill. Sam Merrill's shooting 52% from 3 right now. He's averaging 17 points a game. He was hurt last game. That's the only reason the Celtics won last night, let's be honest, because Sam Merrill was out. They need his shooting desperately.
Even if you're being facetious, I take that. Yeah.
I am being facetious.
I've seen what Sam Merrill can do to the Celtics.
Sam Merrill in the starting lineup has taken the reins and just ran with it. He's averaging 18 points a game. Like I said, he's like 53% from the field, 51% from 3. The Cavs love him. Like Donovan Mitchell loves him. We were having talks in the chat. Like, does Sam Merrill have to be on the floor at the end of games for the Cavs? And if it means taking Jared Allen off the floor, I'd be okay with it, honestly. But Sam Merrill, man, like I didn't expect when they signed him or got him a couple years ago or last year, whatever it was not expecting anything. Just like a flyer on a guy who could be a shooter. He gets paid this offseason, and he's making them. He's rewarding them for it. So he's been a huge piece, and they need to get him back healthy because this is a beaten down team right now. They just got Hunter back, and then Merrill went to the shelf. They're a team who needs their point guard back, but he has been a blessing to this team early on in the season.
Yeah, I honestly, I think outside of their first game, last night was the second game of the Cavs that I watched, but I definitely watched more closely last night, so I haven't seen much of Sam Merrill, but I know what he's about.
So you need to stop watching Cavs games because
when
Gunny watches, they lose. That's what I just found out.
Wrong.
That is true. That is true. All right, Steve, give your flowers here. Who you got?
All right. So I want you guys to try to guess first, all right? I'm going to give you each 10, 15 seconds. This guy is averaging 20 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, 5 assists per game, and he's shooting over 50% from the floor and 3-point range. 29-5, 50-50. 29-5, 50-50.
It's not KD, is it?
No, not KD. Not KD. 29-5, 50-50. You want a big hint?
Yeah.
21 years old, and not a peep about this guy. Not a peep.
That's crazy.
Is it Cade?
Nope. 21 years old, 29-5, shooting 50-50 splits. Not a peep about this guy.
Jalen
You guys,
Duran?
nope. 50% from 3, Donnie. I'm not Jalen Duran. He's not shooting 50%.
Excuse me. Hand up. Another
You
hand up.
you guys ready for this? Because I was blown away when I saw this. Keyshawn George of the Washington Wizards is averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 53% from the floor, 53% from 3. Keyshawn George, and sometimes no one cares, right? Because the Wizards are so bad, and that's why no one's going to give this flowers. So I got to be the guy to do it. This guy's absolutely balling out this year. He's 6'8". He's kind of that stretch forward, but he can also handle the ball. He can also play as the big man. He's positionless. He's unbelievable. And no one cares because he's a Washington Wizard. But my God, guys, this guy's incredible.
I know why you know.
This guy's incredible.
He had 34 against the Mavs.
Yeah, absolutely why I know. This guy's unbelievable. And he can play every position. He can play make. He can get those dirty rebounds. He can shoot threes. He can drive. But nobody cares, and no one's going to care all year long because he's on this horrible Wizards team. But guys, we're talking about a 21-year-old who's putting up numbers that are like, those are almost all-star caliber stat line right there. And this is a guy where we talk about Wemby at 21. Oh, this is the worst version of Wemby you're going to get. He's only going to get better. He's a 6'8" guy who can handle the ball. He's strong. He's physical. And Keyshawn George right now, there's not a peep. I bet there's probably 50 talking heads you could name who wouldn't even know what team he plays for. Keyshawn George got to get some flowers here, man. He has impressed me pretty much in every game. They play the Thunder tonight, which is going to be the toughest matchup of his career. But if he can actually have a decent game against the Thunder, despite them losing by 45 tonight, dude, I'm going to be even more impressed. This is a guy that last year, he started slow, and I don't think you can't really ever put the bust category around the guy, but it almost looked like, oh, this is just a phase-out draft pick, right? This is a guy they drafted, kind of phases out. And the reason that I even started caring about Keyshawn George, one of our guys pulled a 1-of-1 Keyshawn George rookie card. They were all going nuts, and they're like, Steve, is this guy any good? Showed it to me at the start of the year. I was like, he's a young guy. He's got potential. We'll see how he does. And then 2 weeks into the year, I go back. I'm like, dude, this guy's unbelievable. His value's going to skyrocket once people realize how good this guy is. Keyshawn George, the numbers he's putting up what Jalen Johnson did last year when he was the favorite to win Most Improved Player before he got hurt. Had to give him there. He's efficient. He's strong. He's physical. He's a playmaker. He can drive. He can shoot. And nobody's going to care all year long because he's on the Wizards.
I love it.
Wow. That is it's pretty amazing, man. What a pull. You went pretty deep for the
I'm going with the obscure pulls for flowers.
Was he on Miami when they made
he was the Miami kid, yes.
Okay. I don't remember him being that big, dude, when he was at Miami. I mean, it's possible he grew since then, but yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, he was
only 21.
Yeah,
only 21 years old.
Maybe I might have to make the Wizards more of a click on League Pass.
No, just watch highlights. Highlights. If you want to watch some Keyshawn George, just watch highlights. You don't need to watch full Wizards games, Tony. Just tune into some George highlights.
Understood. Just YouTube for the Wizards. Guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we alluded to it. The flowers that I am giving out. It is the one, the only Drew Holiday, who just continues to be one of the most underrated guys in the league. He's been doing it for so damn long, man. It's crazy. Drew Holiday was born in 1990, and he's still he's cooking guys in the league. 19.6 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game, 7.8 assists per game, shooting over 50% from the field. He's shooting 38% from 3. better than his career average. He just gets it done. 1.4 steals a game, like you mentioned, Steve. Like, you know, people probably thought he was just a corner specialist who still had his defense. No, he just played for the loaded Celtics the last 2 years.
Didn't need to.
You're right. And this is a guy who I hate the way it went down, but like if you're outside looking in at what Brad Stevens, the decisions he had to make this summer, like getting rid of Drew was a no-brainer for this group. He was owed like $35 million a year for the next 3 years. Like it just wasn't possible, especially for an organization who's trying to win. Doesn't mean that Drew Holiday wasn't going to be upset, because he absolutely was, and I don't blame him. And I think this is a little bit of a fuck you tour for Drew Holiday to start the season. He's got the young, talented guys around him. Like you said, Steve, even when Scoot comes back, he'll probably hold this position.
What's polite Scoot over him at this point?
Right. So, you know, just have to give Drew some love, man. He's great. He's done it. Every stop he's made, he's been unbelievable. 2-time champ, 2-time gold medalist. Just still one of the best defenders in our league. So shout out Drew Holiday, man.
Every team he goes to, he makes better. Is that fair to say? Almost instantly, exactly. Every team he goes to, he just instantly makes better, and you just can tell. And you know, that's what this Portland Trailblazers team needed: a veteran leader who just makes the guys around him more confident and better. There you go. But yeah, Dunny, I was shocked by him too. I didn't know he was going to be your Flowers guy, because I was ready to go in with him on the Trailblazers. And as soon as you said that, I was like, hey, Dunny, we're just aligned this year, man. We are just aligned this year.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. All right, guys, those were our Flowers, surprise teams, blind resume. It was a loaded show for y'all. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to follow us at Happy Hour Hoops 1 on all socials. Follow Trainwreck Sports everywhere. The show is presented by Trainwreck Sports. We love them. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. We will see you next week. Go enjoy some Wemby, some Steph Curry, some Keontae
Go watch Wemby.
George,
some Kayshawn George. Kayshawn George, yeah, let's go.
Excuse me. Utah Jazz.
You can watch Keontae George too. He's been balling as well. Both the Georges.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Later, guys.